As Mike Horton will attest, I love codecs, and one of the companies that does a great job working with codecs is Telestream. Kevin Loudon is a sales engineer with Telestream. He's been there since, what, the late 90s, Kevin?
The late 90s, yeah. Pretty much since there's been a Telestream.
Frightening thought, isn't it? It's just, that's a long time. And there isn't a compression product that he can't talk about in detail. And just sitting and kicking feet back and sitting and having a long half-hour conversation with Kevin is one of the highlights of my life. But we've only got a few minutes, and you're wearing this gigantic white and orange target on the front of your T-shirt.
This signifies Switch. Switches is a multi-format player.
Well, that's very cool.
So it's a desktop player, very much in the same vein as a QuickTime Pro, but it will play more than QuickTime.
One of the things that we've always needed is the ability to see time code. Can you show us time code?
We can see time code, we can see running frames, and we can see running time. Again, very much like you'd see in the lower left-hand corner of QuickTime Player 7.
So
same model.
We don't actually need to have a QuickTime movie. We can play an MXF native file. We could play a MPEG-2 transport stream. These are files which QuickTime Player won't play because they're not a QuickTime format anymore.
Right. Usually people in our business, now in the file-based world, we have to have sort of a collection of 4 or 5 different applications to either play a media file, depending on what the format is, or find out information about the media file, which we can do in Switch. We have an excellent inspector, which will show you everything you want to know about the mechanics of the file, audio and video. And then you may need to make corrections to a file, like what people would normally use like QuickTime 7 Pro for to do an export. We can do cropping, trimming.
Can you show me the tracks? Because there's many times I want to turn off the audio track or turn on the video track.
So we have an audio meter panel where you can solo and mute. And we also have a very rich inspector where you can see all the channels, all the tracks within the channels, down to the speaker assignments.
That is very cool.
And then you could rematrix them. So if you have 6 mono channels, you could merge them into a 6.1 mix and assign the speakers. So it's very deep audio inspection and correction in the Switch player.
I have to always go back to QuickTime 7 to be able to do that, because it's got the ability to actually look inside the file and let me manipulate individual tracks or change an audio file.
Yeah, in fact, one of the big things that everybody still needed QuickTime Pro 7 for was delivery to the iTunes Store, because they were very particular about the speaker assignments, and that was really the only place you could do it. So you can do that now in Switch. And in fact, you can create a complete iTunes Store package out of Switch with an XML file, SCC file, video file. So it's available right now. You can go to our website, telestream.net, and download the beta. We're going to be running that for a little while as we finish up. It will be available as a free player, and then there will also be paid versions that can do things like the exporting, the trimming and editing, and things like that. You know, the player is actually the culmination of years and years of development in our transcoding products, which is we do mainly. So we've got, of course, our Vantage line.
Which is the enterprise class.
This is our highest level enterprise class transcoding solution. We've got a great feature in Vantage called Post Producer. Post Producer is actually a full template-driven editorial conform engine, which rides on top of Vantage. So it was interesting when you were talking to the Adobe gentleman earlier about sort of that templated After Effects to Premiere. We actually have a plugin for Premiere where you can create a template and then dynamically drive editorial conforming of things like promos totally outside of the editorial process and do it in a system like Vantage. It's really, really cool. There's nothing like it anywhere.
Where can people go on the web to learn more?
www.telestream.net is our web address.
Telestream, telestream.net.
That's correct.
And Kevin Loudon is the sales engineer for Telestream. Kevin, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Larry.
Nice job.